Good morning. Just gonna make some comments on some of the most recent news. First of all, let's talk about the White House. Seriously, you're destroying something that's been here almost as long as this nation, and yes, it's gone under a few renovations, but it hasn't been destroyed to renovate. For those of you who still say, "Oh, he's gonna leave after his term," no, he's not. You don't make a project like that if you're planning on leaving. He's not only desecrating a building that's been here all the generations that pretty much the U.S. has. He turned the Rose Garden into essentially a parking lot for people. He's defied every order by federal law. That man ain't planning on leaving. Here's something that you need to remember. Before he was elected, he says, "I want to be a dictator for a day." Dictators aren't there for a day. Dictators are there until natural causes take them out or until they're removed. This whole thing of Congress not having the balls to stop him and are actively seeking a way to find how to override the Constitution, allowing him to run again, it's all a smokescreen. It's that simple. We have very few people in Congress that have the mental capability of actually remembering who hired them. They're a bunch of xenophobic, racist, BS, mouth-filled politicians. They call for the arrest of their own. They're committing ethnic cleansing. Oh, let's get rid of all the people with melanin in their skin, and then we're going to bring in these German Nazis and apartheid South Africans. Hey, MAGA, here's a question for you. How's the federal shutdown doing since, you guys are the majority of the roles of government benefits, like food stamps and Medicare? I'm pretty sure it's affecting you pretty hard. I kind of find that laughable. I'm sorry, but all the generals leaving that left after Pete Hegseth and Trump did their little email speech, they should have had the balls to stay. The press corps should have had the balls to stay and just said, "No, you're not going to disrupt what's there." Because what has happened is the voices and the power that had the ability to stop Trump and his minions in his tyrannical, dictatorial takeover could have been the power to stop them. But by all of them leaving, all they have now are yes men, people who don't have the intestinal fortitude to tell Trump to take a long walk off a short pier. And yes, I understand this will get flagged and somebody will find out, and guess what? Don't care. Really don't. Because if you look at my writings from my website, for some of the stuff that's still there, although I've readjusted some of it depending on what I choose to write about, and my social media posts, and anybody who talks to me and knows me knows exactly where I stand. This man has torn apart the very foundation and fabric of this nation. Now, I'm going to put it all in perspective. Yes, it was a very faulty founding of our nation, especially when your words are all men are created equal and endowed by the Creator for all of these rights, and then exclude a bunch of them. Wasn't a very good founding for the elimination of all of the indigenous holdings. Yet we triumphed the Iroquois by using a form and style of their government to form ours. And it's really amazing that the rest of our government was based upon Roman Greco styles of government when they violate the very ethics that those philosophers believed in. Now I'm going to lay this flat out. And Trump, Hegseth, Rubio, all of you idiots, and I use that term lightly because I would like to say so much more. Yes, I may look white. Yes, I have European blood. But I also have Aztec and Mayan, Taino, Punjabi, Mende. And my bloodline is closer to the Levant, which takes in places like Lebanon, Jordan, Pakistan, or not Pakistan, excuse me, that's the Punjabi part, Palestine. The female lineage of my bloodline started in Turkey, after it derived in different splits from mitochondrial Eve in Africa. I am, and if most people would actually check their DNA, would find out that they probably are, a UN of genetics. But the one thing that can never, ever be said about me is that I tend to go with the flow. I don't. I grew up in a very racist family. My ancestors owned slaves. One ancestor opened up Oklahoma to settlers despite what it was doing to the indigenous of the area. I've laid my family's sins on social media out for all the world to see, and there's a reason for that. To prove that we are not our ancestors, unless we choose to be. I don't raise my children like that. My great-grandfather was present at the last lynching in Marion, Indiana. The lynching that brought about the poem, Strange Fruit, which then brought about Billie Holiday's song. Front and center of the postcard that was used to commemorate the taking of 2 lives. And I've talked to the niece of one of those gentlemen, a very sweet woman. And so I understand the hate-filled racism. I saw it growing up. And I determined at a young age that I was never going to be that way. I'm just going to end by taking a quote from the Red Green Show from Canada, a wonderful show. We're all in this together. And it's only going to be by the power of being together and quit fighting amongst ourselves is the only way that this new dictatorship that is forming is ever going to be dealt with and destroyed. For the elected officials, remember who the hell hired you. Life is that simple. Trump and his minions didn't hire you. The people of this nation hired you. And despite what you may think, much of the red are having huge regrets. One last thing. This about Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry the man was shot. Never even listened to him until after that incident. But he was not a Christian, did not put forth Christian values. And turning point, shut down, because all you're doing is promoting hate in the name of a Christ that you don't follow. Have a blessed day, y'all.